Alright, after about an hour of goofing around with this thing, I'm finally done. I got a couple of pictures of it, and I'm going to show them all here. And I'll probably show them before I do this, but I tried to weld the rivet back in after I cut it off in here. And that did not work at all. So I actually had to go in and file that back out because it was affixed to some things and not others. So that's back out, and now I've just used a standard pop rivet with a washer. Pretty cheesy looking, but it was my only option at this point once I took the handle off there. Either that or completely take the handle off, or maybe just leave it loose at the top, but I didn't trust it. It was a little wobbly. Once I broke this one free and I was using that welding on there, this one down here started to spin side to side, so I guess we'll put some water in there and see if it leaks down here now when it boils. If it leaks down here when it boils, then I've kind of ruined the pot. If it leaks up here when it boils, not a big deal. It doesn't look like there's anything. There's a plug in there, but it's a little loose, and I'm sure it would leak up here. So I'm not too worried about it leaking up on the top there until I go to drink a cup of something and it actually drips onto my chin. Then it will be not good if it's hot coffee. So some experimenting to do with this. Didn't work out as well as I planned as far as cutting the top off and replacing that down below. I would have had to do a rivet that was one of them swell rivets that you crush inside there, and I don't have one of those. I don't know how to even get one of those. I don't know if they're in hardware stores or how they work. I guess it's a pin you put in there and you just smash it. Anyways, I don't have one of those. But anyways, all in all, it turned out halfway decent. It's a little more flexible now than it was with this on there. With this on there, it had no flex, but with no rim on there like this, it's very flexible and easy to bend. So I imagine if you put it in the backpack and you dropped your pack and it would crush it. It's not that strong of aluminum, so you can even see that just from my working with it, I've kind of bent it out a little bit. So I don't know how it compares to the general Imusa mugs. Those actually have a rolled edge, I think, which keeps them from being bent real easy. I tried to roll an edge on this. It was having no luck with that, so I just cut it down. It was actually a pretty poor job of cutting it down. I used a hacksaw. Wasn't the best thing I could have done. Files to file down afterwards. Lots of sandpaper. I don't know. It was a mess. Anyways, this is what I ended up with, my final product. I got a couple little nicks in there that I'm going to fine tune up with some 400 grit paper here, just so I don't get a metal splinter in my lip or something. And then I'll wash it all out and boil in it. So we'll let you see that final boil when I get going there. Also, I don't have a lid for it. Alright, we're doing our first boil test on this stove. I finally got it all set up here, and it's about 1 minute in. I put a lid on there that's not really a very good lid. I need to find something a little better. It's just too tight, and I pushed it out a minute ago, and I couldn't get it back out, so I had to get a pair of pliers to pry it back out. So this time I just set it on top there for this test. We got the Trangia style stove in there, and we're going to do 3 cups of water. I know that's longer than most boil times, but I want to test my seals and see if they start leaking over here. I want to test both the bottom seal, which is it leaking already? No, it's not. Okay. And the top seal once it starts boiling, to see if either one of those leak. Now obviously the water's at this line here, so it may not leak at all, but I don't think I'll ever have it to the top anyway. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. And I'm just timing to get an idea of how it boils water and how it goes. Alright, it started boiling a minute ago. I didn't catch it, but it was about 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't have anything to grab the lid with, or I'm going to burn myself. So I'll just let it boil here. But I want to see, now that it's boiling, what is happening with my side over here. And guess what? That's bad news right there. That's from the top or bottom? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell. It's definitely coming from the top, but is it also coming from the bottom? I don't know.
Yeah.
It started doing it after the boil. Oops, sorry. So it's hard to say. Well, in boiling 3 cups of water, I'm definitely, well, you can see it's boiling over. It's boiling over, so I'm going to take the top off anyway. A nice pair of scissors. My wife will appreciate me using her good scissors to take off my lid there. Ooh, that's hot. So that was about 9.5 minutes or so to get to a rolling boil on 3 cups of water. But my issue is that I don't know if it dripped there. So now I'm going to have to do it with 2 cups of water and see if it drips out from the bottom or if it's just the top dripping. I don't mind the dripping. Where I do mind it is if I go to get a drink and it then drips in my face. I wouldn't have 3 cups of water there full of drinkage. But I would think I could put a little silicone around that. The question is, it doesn't appear to be dripping from the bottom because now I drip ran down and it'll run around down here and then come out. Well, it's too hot down there. But you can only see the drips coming from the top. Alright, on to the 2 cup version. See what happens there. We'll try again. Alright, I've got the 2 cups of water in there this time. Going to go ahead and do an actual time test on this one. I did not let the Trangia bloom fully, but it doesn't take very long, so we'll just let it go in the manner that it's going here. Better put my wife's scissors away since I used them earlier. We're only 28 seconds in, and not quite a full bloom yet. So you'll have to modify that accordingly, but really my test is more to see if the bottom rivet now leaks on this after I fiddle around with it so much. And that top rivet, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it yet. If I'm going to fix it or if I'm going to worry about it at all. I really want to have this so I can boil 3 cups of water, so it could make a difference. But I think the only time I'm going to boil 3 cups of water is if I plan to use it for food of some kind. So, we'll see. Anyways, I'll bring it back on once we get to a boil. Alright, we're at 5 minutes and 21 seconds. We haven't quite come to a boil yet, but it is starting to bubble. I just wanted to get a good look here and show you guys that nothing currently is leaking out of the bottom rivet there. So I think we're going to be okay on that one. I'm going to try this with my fingers and see if I can burn myself. Not quite at a boil yet. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but that will obviously be the hottest it gets. But we're almost there. And we're 5 minutes and 50 seconds in. It did take a little while for that Trangia to get up to a full flame like that, so there was about 60 seconds before it was fully bloomed. So when you're thinking about what kind of time this took, I should have probably let that bloom all the way, but really I'm more concerned with not the time, but is it going to hold water and not leak on me like it did on the top rivet there. Anybody's got any ideas on that top rivet on what I can do to seal it up and not let it leak, let me know. I really don't want to put, I talked about putting silicone on the inside of the pot. I think my dog is, you okay there, bud? Huh? What's wrong? It started boiling, I'm sorry. 6 minutes and 30 seconds. My dog had me a little worried there for a second. Not grabbing that with my bare hands this time. Also not going to catch it on fire this time. So it's fully boiling. Man, I'm having trouble today. Ooh, that's hot. Keep that on there for a second while I think he's okay. Maybe not. It's not dripping at all this time. So it must have just been the top rivet that was leaking. Yeah, we were just trying to see how long this went. So I'll kill that. Anyways, that's pretty decent. It will boil up to, well, at the top there, the very tip top is 4 cups, but obviously you can't put it up to 4 cups and there it'll boil over. And at 3 cups, currently I'm leaking. Anybody got any ideas on how to keep it from leaking on this one? Let me know. Thanks. Talk to you guys later.